Hello there, and welcome to a quiet journey. I am so glad you found your way here. As the day settles into evening, let your mind relax, your breathing slow, and your body grow light, as if gravity itself has softened just for you. There is nothing you need to do, nowhere you need to be, except here now, drifting gently. If these calm, curious explorations help you unwind or give you a quiet way to end your day, consider liking and subscribing to the channel. It helps others find their way here too. Tonight, we aren't simply looking up at a distant red star. We are crossing the vast, silent expanse of 55 million kilometers, preparing to land softly on the crimson desert of Mars. Earth is a vibrant blue, a symphony of sounds and life. But Mars is a world of rust and whispers, a silent sentinel turning slowly in the dark. Imagine you are standing there now, a gentle warmth in the cool Martian air. Around you the landscape stretches, a muted tapestry of rusted rock and fine, red dust, slowly settling with each soft breath of the atmosphere. Tonight, we will unearth 100 secrets buried beneath its timeless sands, letting the deep quiet of this distant world lull you into a peaceful slumber. The first secret whispers of color of why this world, our celestial neighbor, glows with such a distinctive ancient red. Mars is, quite simply, a planet that is rusted. For eons stretching back billions of years, its iron-rich rocks and soil have slowly, patiently reacted with the sparse oxygen in its early atmosphere, and later with the oxygen locked within water molecules. It's a process that didn't happen in a sudden flash, but with the gentle, persistent turning of geological time, a slow, deliberate breath across the ages. Imagine iron left out in the open, slowly transforming, its metallic sheen giving way to a rich, deep ochre. This is the very essence of Mars, writ large across an entire world. This crimson cloak isn't just a surface layer, it is a fine, powdery dust, so incredibly delicate that it drifts through the air like a perpetual, rusty smoke. It settles on every rock, every crater rim, every ancient volcanic slope, painting the entire planet in hues of russet, sienna, and deep brick red. When the winds stir, which they often do, this fine particulate matter lifts into the sky, tinting the very atmosphere with its signature blush. It's a slow dance of oxidation, a chemical ballet performed over unimaginable stretches of time, each tiny particle a testament to billions of years of patient transformation. You can almost feel the weight of that time, the stillness of a process that unfolds so gradually it becomes eternal. This gentle, relentless process of rusting, of the world slowly turning itself red, is a soothing rhythm, a quiet testament to the enduring power of slow change. It invites you to let your own thoughts settle, like the fine red dust, coming to rest in the deep quiet of the Martian night. As you stand on this rust-colored plain, you might feel a gentle current on your skin, a whisper of wind. But it feels different, doesn't it? This brings us to another secret, one carried on the faint currents of the Martian air, the quiet breath of its thin atmosphere. Mars once held a thicker, warmer blanket of air, but over countless millennia, much of it has been stripped away by the solar wind, leaving behind a fragile, almost ethereal veil. Today, the Martian atmosphere is less than 1% the density of Earth's. It's so incredibly thin that even if a gale-force wind were to sweep across the plains, you would barely feel a gentle push, a soft, almost imperceptible caress, like a ghost's touch. The air here isn't a robust shield. It is a delicate whisper, a quiet sigh across a vast and silent world. This extreme thinness has a profound effect on sound, muting the world around you into a hushed, dreamlike state. If you were to speak, your voice would deepen, sounding more muffled and distant, as if your words were struggling to push through a heavy fog. The higher frequencies, those sharp, crisp edges of sound that define our world, are quickly absorbed by the sparse air, leaving only the lower, more resonant tones to travel. It is as if the entire planet has pressed a mute button, softening every echo, every rustle, every distant hum into a gentle, indistinct murmur. Imagine a world where the loudest sound is the faint hiss of the wind, a sound so delicate it seems to fade even as you try to grasp it. This muffled auditory landscape is profoundly soothing, a quiet embrace that gently dampens the clamor of the outside world. It invites your ears to relax, to let go of the need to discern, and simply to be enveloped in a haze of soft, muted quiet. The world here doesn't shout. It breathes a thin, almost inaudible sigh, a perfect lullaby for a mind seeking peace. Beyond the settling dust in the whispering air, the Martian landscape unfolds, revealing ancient stories etched in stone and sand. Our next secret lies in the peculiar beauty of the ghost dunes, silent monuments to a time-long past. Imagine a vast ancient desert, billions of years ago, where towering sand dunes, much like those on Earth, slowly migrated across the plains, sculpted by persistent ancient winds. Then, a dramatic event, colossal rivers of molten lava, perhaps from the mighty Olympus Mons or one of its sleeping siblings, began to flow across the landscape, slowly, inexorably, covering everything in their path. These fiery streams flowed over and around the existing dunes, filling the valleys between them, encasing them in a hard volcanic shell. Eons passed. The lava solidified, forming vast, dark plains. But time is a relentless sculptor. Over hundreds of millions of years, the softer, underlying lava that had filled the spaces between the dunes slowly eroded away, leaving behind a remarkable spectacle: the hardened molds of the ancient sand dunes, now standing proud as inverted hollows. These are the ghost dunes, Sylvie, not hills of sand, but the negative space. The ghostly imprints of dunes that once were. They are like frozen waves, a vast, silent ocean of solidified memory, each curve and ridge a testament to the interplay of wind, fire, and time. You can gaze upon these spectral formations, watching the low Martian sun cast long, quiet shadows across their ancient contours, a visual symphony of stillness and deep history. And even in this profound stillness, Mars still dances. Occasionally, in the quiet afternoons, when the sun warms the red ground, you might see a dust devil begin its slow, elegant spin. These are not violent storms, but graceful, fleeting columns of red dust, twirling upwards like miniature tornadoes, performing a solitary dance across the vast, empty stage. They rise from the ground, spiral upwards for a few moments, perhaps tracing a path across a ghost dune, before gently unraveling and dissolving back into the thin air, leaving barely a trace. They are transient artists, painting temporary patterns in the red dust, then vanishing as softly as they appeared. This rhythmic reshaping of the sand, the silent sculpting by the wind, the brief ephemeral dance of the dust devils. It's a meditative ballet, a slow, hypnotic rhythm that echoes the turning of time itself. You watch as the red sand waves are slowly, patiently reshaped, a timeless zen, like garden unfolding before your eyes, inviting your own thoughts to drift and settle, like the fine red particles, into a deep and tranquil peace. You drift now across the vast ochre plains of Mars where the wind whispers its ancient tales. And as you gaze across this boundless expanse, a titan begins to emerge on the horizon. Not a peak that pierces the sky with a sharp, defiant thrust, but a gentle, colossal dome. A sleeping giant that stretches its immense form across the curvature of the world. This is Olympus Mons, the largest volcano in our solar system, a monument to a fiery past now cooled into an eternal stillness. Imagine its sheer scale, a presence so immense it barely registers as a mountain in the traditional sense. If you were to stand upon its lowest slopes, looking out, you would not feel the upward climb beneath your feet. Instead, the ground would seem to stretch away, almost flat, an endless subtle incline that barely hints at the incredible altitude you are gaining. And the horizon, that familiar line where sky meets land, would slowly, imperceptibly, begin to curve away beneath you, falling back as if the very world were bowing to this silent monarch. It rises 21 kilometers into the thin Martian air, a height more than 2.5 times that of Earth's Mount Everest. Yet its slopes are so incredibly gentle, so vast and elongated, that the ascent would be a slow, quiet drift rather than a strenuous climb. It is a testament to the planet's lower gravity and the immense, steady flows of lava that built it layer by patient layer over eons. This colossal shield volcano is not a jagged, angry peak, but a vast, rounded form, like a colossal ancient tortoiseshell resting on the planet's surface. Its summit caldera, a complex depression at its crown, is itself a landscape of nested craters, each one a memory of a time when molten rock once surged and boiled within its heart. But those days are long past. Olympus Mons has been dormant for millions of years, its fiery breath now just a distant echo in the planet's deep geological memory. It stands as a symbol of immense power, now utterly at rest. Its flanks, scarred by ancient lava flows and dotted with impact craters, tell stories of cosmic collisions and slow, internal churnings, all now settled into a profound quietude. The very air around it, thin and cold, seems to hold its breath, reverently acknowledging the ancient silence of this magnificent formation. Feel the profound stillness that emanates from such a structure. This mountain, once a furnace of creation, a source of erupting fury, now lies cloaked in the red dust and at times a delicate, ephemeral layer of water ice or carbon dioxide frost. It is an image of peace, of a profound quietude that has settled over something once so dramatically alive. The anger of its youth has long since dissipated, leaving behind only the quiet grandeur of its form. It is a place where time itself seems to slow, where the vastness of geological ages is palpable in every gentle curve and every settled grain of dust. The light of the distant sun, filtered through the thin Martian air, bathes its immense slopes in a soft reddish glow, highlighting its gentle contours and the subtle textures of its ancient surface. And as you imagine yourself standing on its silent slopes, feeling the almost imperceptible upward tilt of the ground beneath your imaginary feet, you can sense the planet's own deep breath. It is a breath held for millions of years, a profound, patient waiting. The wind, thin and cold, might brush past you, carrying the smallest particles of iron oxide, the very rust that colors this world. But even the wind cannot stir the ancient quiet of Olympus Mons. Its immense mass seems to anchor the very concept of stillness on Mars, a steadfast presence in a world of shifting sands and whispering winds. It is a monument to what was and a promise of what is, a world capable of immense power, now embracing an eternal profound calm. Let the image of this sleeping giant, so vast and so still, cradle your thoughts. Let its immense quiet presence draw you into a similar state of deep, unmoving rest, a tranquility that mirrors the ancient peace of this Martian monarch. As your quiet journey continues, across the vast, rust-colored plains that stretch endlessly beneath you, a new feature begins to emerge, not rising from the surface, but tearing deep into it. It is a wound, a colossal gash that slices across the face of Mars, a testament to titanic forces that shaped this world in its distant past. This is Valles Marineris, the Grand Canyon of Mars, but on a scale so immense it dwarfs any terrestrial comparison. Imagine stretching it across an entire continent. If Valles Marineris were placed on Earth, it would span the entire width of the United States, from the sun-drenched beaches of California to the rocky shores of Maine. It is an astonishing 4,000 kilometers long, an average of 200 kilometers wide, and in places it plunges to depths of 7 kilometers. This is not merely a canyon, it is a system of canyons, troughs, and chasms, a complex network of geological features that together form the largest known canyon system in the solar system. It is a silent, sprawling masterpiece of erosion and tectonic forces, a vast, open book revealing the planet's ancient story, its pages etched in layers of rock and shadow. As you imagine yourself drifting gently into this immense chasm, the scale of it truly begins to unfold. The red cliffs rise thousands of meters on either side, sheer and imposing, yet also incredibly ancient and weathered. Layers of rock laid down over billions of years are exposed on their faces, each stripe a whisper of a bygone era, a different chapter in Mars's deep history. The light, filtered through the thin, dusty atmosphere, casts long, slow shadows that crawl across the canyon walls, deepening the sense of profound depth and quiet. These shadows move with a stately grace, painting the vast surfaces with ever-changing patterns of light and dark, a slow cosmic dance that is played out for eons. The air within the canyon's depths, though thin, feels heavier, more still than on the open plains. The towering walls seem to absorb all sound, creating an echo chamber of silence, a space where only the softest whispers of the distant wind might occasionally penetrate. It is a place of absolute quiet, a deep embrace of solitude that can calm the most restless mind. The sheer magnitude of the walls, the impossible distances between one side and the other, creates a sensation of floating in an almost infinite void, yet one that is comforting and secure. And then, as the Martian day begins to stir, a magical transformation occurs within the canyon's depths. In the early morning hours, when the air is at its coldest and the first rays of a distant sun begin to touch the highest ridges, Valles Marineris fills with a soft, ethereal mist. This is not water vapor, but delicate plumes of white dry ice fog, carbon dioxide frozen from the thin atmosphere and clinging to the lowest, coldest parts of the canyon. It swirls and drifts, a silent, ghostly sea that slowly fills the vast abyss, softening the sharp edges of the cliffs and creating an otherworldly landscape of veiled peaks and hidden depths. Imagine yourself floating above this swirling silent fog, a vast white blanket that stretches as far as the eye can see, occasionally parting to reveal the dark, ancient rock beneath. The only sound is the gentle, almost inaudible whisper of the thin Martian wind, stirring the dry ice particles, making them dance in slow, graceful patterns, like ethereal dancers performing an ancient, silent ballet. This mist is cold, pure, and utterly tranquil. It wraps the immense canyon in a shroud of mystery and peace, inviting you to let your mind drift with its silent currents, to become one with its quiet, cold breath. The sheer, ancient walls, carved by forces beyond our comprehension, seem to hold their breath in the quiet morning. They are guardians of an immense silence, a stillness that has endured for eons. The scale of Valles Marineris is so grand, so overwhelming, that it encourages a sense of profound humility and peace. You are a small, gentle presence within this vast, silent world, cradled by the immense red cliffs, enveloped by the cool, white mist. Let this deep, quiet chasm, with its ancient scars and its morning breath of dry ice, become a tranquil space in your mind, a place where all thoughts can settle and find rest, suspended in the vast, still embrace of the Martian canyon. Now, let your gentle journey lead you further, deeper into the Martian past, to a time when this red world was not so red, and its dry, dusty surface whispered with a very different kind of sound. We are searching for echoes of a distant blue, for the memory of water that once flowed freely across these now barren plains. And as you drift, a particular landscape begins to take shape beneath you. Jezero Crater. This vast impact basin, now a silent, dust-filled hollow, was once a thriving lake, a body of liquid water that shimmered under an ancient Martian sky. Imagine it as it once was, a deep, calm expanse, reflecting the clouds, perhaps even a nascent, warmer sun. The surface might have been ruffled by a gentle breeze, creating tiny rhythmic waves that lapped softly at the shore. And flowing into this ancient lake, a river, winding its way across the landscape, carrying sediments and carving its path with the gentle insistence of water, a constant, soothing murmur against the quiet of the world. The evidence of this past life is still remarkably preserved, etched into the very fabric of the land. Look closely at the northern and western rims of the crater, and you will see the unmistakable signature of a river delta, a perfect fan-shaped formation, a testament to where a river once slowed and spread its load of sediment as it emptied into the vastness of the lake. It is a geological fingerprint, clear and undeniable, of a time when water was abundant, when this world might have teemed with microbial life in its quiet depths. The channels where the river once flowed are still visible, like ancient, dried veins on the planet's surface, a network of pathways that once carried life, giving currents now eternally still, preserving the ghost of a flow. And if you were to descend into these ancient riverbeds, into the very heart of what was once a flowing stream, you would find the pebbles smooth, rounded stones, worn down by the patient, persistent action of water. Pick one up in your imagination, feel its cool, polished surface, its perfectly sculpted curves. It tells a story of countless tumbles, of being rolled and smoothed by currents that are now gone, vanished into the deep past. These pebbles are not sharp or jagged, but gently curved, each one a small, tangible memory of a time when the sound of flowing water filled these valleys. A soft, continuous lullaby. They lie now silent and still, testament to a liquid embrace that ended billions of years ago. But that was 3 billion years ago. 3 billion years since the last drop of liquid water flowed through these channels, since the last ripple disturbed the surface of Jezero Lake. The water is gone, evaporated into the thin atmosphere, or perhaps frozen deep beneath the surface, hidden away in a silent, icy slumber, waiting for a future that may never come. What remains is a profound sense of absence, a quiet longing for what once was. The dry riverbeds, the smooth, silent pebbles, they all speak of a past vitality, now transformed into an enduring stillness, a deep, pervasive quiet that settles over everything. Feel the power of this memory. The sound of water, that gentle, murmuring flow, seems to echo in the dry, empty riverbeds, a ghost sound that only the imagination can truly hear. It is a nostalgic dryness, a sense of deep quietude that settles over a place where life once thrived in a vibrant liquid embrace. The world has changed, but the memory remains etched into the rocks, carried on the silent wind, a whisper of blue in a world of red. The vast, empty basin of Jezero Crater cradles this memory, a silent testament to a planetary metamorphosis, a journey from a watery past to a dry, tranquil present. This ancient ocean, now a dry and dusty memory, invites you to reflect on the passage of time, on the cycles of change that shape planets and lives. It is a reminder that even the most vibrant, flowing things can settle into a deep, enduring calm. Let the image of these smooth, water-worn pebbles, resting in a long, dry riverbed beneath a vast, silent sky, bring a similar sense of peace to your own mind. Let the echoes of that ancient, vanished water lull you into a deep and tranquil rest, a quiet journey through the planet's deep and beautiful past, where the whispers of a lost ocean still linger in the dust. Here, on Earth, we know the fiery spectacle of a sunset, a grand farewell to the day, painting the sky in vibrant, passionate hues of orange, crimson, and gold. The sun, a burning orb, dips below the horizon, leaving behind a lingering warmth, a promise of light to return. It is a moment of profound beauty, a daily ritual that signals the slowing down, the winding down of our busy world. The blue sky of day gives way to the red embrace of twilight, a comforting transition we have known since time began. But here, on Mars, the sky paints a different farewell to the day, a subtle inversion, a quiet paradox that whispers of other worlds, other ways of seeing. The Martian day, as you have come to know it, is awash in shades of ochre and rust, a perpetual canvas of red, reflecting the iron-rich dust that permeates every breath of its thin atmosphere. The sun, a smaller, more distant star, peers through this ruddy veil, casting a warm, yet somehow stark, light across the desolate plains. It is a world steeped in the color of ancient rust, a landscape that seems to hum with a silent, enduring redness. And then, as the day begins its gentle decline, as the distant sun begins its slow descent towards the ragged horizon, something shifts. The pervasive red, which has defined your visual experience, begins to recede, to soften, to yield. The fine, red dust, so pervasive in the Martian atmosphere, acts as a filter, a delicate screen through which the sun's light must pass. On Earth, our atmosphere scatters blue light more efficiently, giving us our daytime blue sky and allowing red and orange to dominate when the sun's rays travel through more atmosphere at sunset. But on Mars, with its unique dust composition and thinner air, the scattering works differently. The dust particles tend to scatter red light more widely across the sky, making the daytime sky appear reddish, brown yet, as the sun dips lower, its light travels through an even greater thickness of this dusty air. And when you look directly at the setting sun, something extraordinary happens. The red light, scattered away from your direct line of sight, leaves behind a different spectrum. What remains, what manages to pierce through the dense particulate veil and reach your eyes, is a cool, ethereal blue. A deep, almost melancholic indigo, like the quiet depths of a forgotten sea, slowly washes over the western sky, framing the setting sun in a halo of serene sapphire. Imagine it now, the vast red expanse of the Martian landscape, stretching out before you, slowly yielding to this cooling transformation. The distant mountains, etched in shades of rusty brown, begin to lose their sharp edges, softening into silhouettes against a canvas of deepened blue. The air, which during the day might have felt sharp and dry, now seems to carry a different quality, a chill, quiet stillness that descends with the changing light. The sun itself, no longer a fiery presence, becomes a small, distinct disk of sapphire, a cool jewel embedded in the fading light. It is a light that feels less like a warm embrace and more like a gentle, tender touch, a quiet caress across the vast, silent world. This inversion of colors, this quiet transformation from a ruddy day to a cerulean dusk, feels like a gentle invitation. An invitation to let go of the day's last vestiges, to allow the cooling hues to soothe your senses. The Martian day sighs its last, exhaling shades of azure, of deep, profound blue that seems to absorb all agitation, all restlessness. The very air seems to soften, to whisper of stillness, of a world preparing for its long, cold night. There is a quiet dignity in this blue farewell, a sense of completion that is both grand and intimately personal. It is a color that speaks of peace, of calm, of the deep, undisturbed slumber that awaits. As the last sliver of the blue sun vanishes below the horizon, the sky deepens further, embracing the approaching night with a cool, tranquil silence. This deep, calming blue, washing over the landscape, urging the world to rest, becomes a visual lullaby, a silent signal that it is time for you, too, to drift into your own quiet slumber. For all its arid beauty, its stark, desolate surface, Mars holds a profound secret beneath its rusty skin, a treasure not of gold or gems, but of life's very essence, of the most fundamental substance without which life as we know it cannot truly flourish. For billions of years, as the Martian atmosphere thinned and its surface waters evaporated or froze, this precious resource did not entirely vanish into the vastness of space. Instead, much of it retreated, sought refuge, and settled into a silent, enduring slumber deep within the planet's embrace. Imagine, if you will, the vast polar ice caps gleaming under the weak sunlight, stark white against the ruddy landscape. These are not merely surface features. They are immense fortresses of frozen water, stretching down for kilometers, holding within them the history of Martian climate, layer upon silent layer, But the ice is not confined to the poles alone. Far from the extremes of the north and south, in the more temperate mid-latitudes, where the sun might offer a fleeting warmth, there lies another, even more astonishing revelation. Vast glaciers, buried just beneath the dusty plains, hidden from the harsh glare of day. These are not the dynamic, flowing glaciers of Earth, carving valleys and shaping mountains with their slow, relentless power. These are ancient, fossilized ice, preserved for eons beneath a protective blanket of regolith, the loose, broken rock and dust that covers the Martian surface. It is as if the planet itself, in a silent act of preservation, drew a heavy red quilt over its most precious commodity, tucking it away safe and sound from the ravages of space and time. You might walk across a seemingly barren plain, a vast expanse of rust-colored dust, completely unaware that just a few meters beneath your feet, stretching for hundreds of kilometers, lies enough pristine, frozen water to transform the entire planet. Consider the sheer scale of this hidden reservoir. If all the known water ice on Mars were to melt, it would be enough to shroud the entire planet in a liquid embrace, covering its vast deserts and ancient craters with an ocean, perhaps shallow in some places, but a continuous body of water nonetheless. Imagine that, a world that now appears utterly dry, capable of holding a global sea within its icy heart. It is a profound stillness, this presence of so much frozen lifeblood, patiently waiting, held in a crystalline suspension of time. This underground ice, this silent frozen heart, is a testament to Mars's enduring mystery, a whisper of its past and a quiet promise for its future. It is a world tucked away, a cool, pure stillness, utterly undisturbed by the winds that scour the surface or the faint distant light of the sun. It is like a secret held close, a precious memory frozen in time, preserving the potential for life in a dormant state. Imagine this blanket of ice, stretched out beneath the quiet red surface, a vast, cold expanse of purity, utterly still, utterly silent. It evokes a feeling of being protected, of having something vital held safe and sound, just out of sight, like a world drawing a heavy quilt over itself, settling in for an age-long slumber, knowing that beneath its protective layers, a deep, cool calm resides. This vast, silent underground ocean of ice offers a profound sense of security, a hidden strength that endures unmoving beneath the changing skies. It is a perfect image for rest, for a deep, undisturbed sleep science, knowing that beneath the surface a vast, cool, pristine peace awaits, patiently holding its quiet secrets. You are resting on a planet that holds its breath, its water, and its dreams deep within, a world that has pulled a blanket of red dust over its icy slumber, inviting you to do the same. Even deeper than the sleeping ice, beneath the very bedrock of Mars lie silent arteries of an ancient, fiery past. For eons, as the planet was still young and tectonically active, torrents of molten rock, rivers of fire, once pulsed through its veins, carving out vast pathways and chambers beneath the surface. These were the conduits of creation, shaping the planet from within, carrying the raw, primordial energy that defined its early tumultuous existence. Over vast spans of time, as the planet cooled and its internal fires quieted, these molten rivers receded, drained away, leaving behind a colossal network of hollowed-out tunnels. Now, they stand empty, silent, vast, cavernous spaces that stretch for kilometers beneath the Martian surface. These are the lava tubes, nature's own perfect sanctuaries carved by the planet itself. Imagine stepping into one of these colossal chambers, a profound descent into the planet's very core, away from the harsh realities of the surface. The entrance might be a subtle skylight, a collapsed section of the roof, or a gentle slope leading down into the darkness. As you venture deeper, the faint, high whisper of the Martian wind, so constant and pervasive on the surface, is utterly silenced here. A profound stillness settles, unbroken by the outside world, a quiet so complete it seems to hum with its own unique resonance. The air inside these ancient tunnels is different. It is still, unmoving, and crucially constant in temperature, while the surface of Mars endures extreme temperature swings from scorching daylight to frigid night. The lava tubes maintain a stable, gentle coolness. It is a constant embrace, a uniform temperature that soothes the senses, free from the fluctuations that can disturb rest. This unwavering constancy is one of their most remarkable gifts, offering a profound sense of comfort and stability. But their gifts extend beyond mere temperature. These immense underground caverns offer unparalleled protection. They are naturally shielded from the harsh radiation that constantly bombards the Martian surface, a silent, invisible threat to any life. The thick layers of rock above act as an impenetrable barrier, absorbing the cosmic rays and solar flares, creating a safe haven, a quiet refuge where the outside dangers simply cannot reach. And the relentless dust storms, those vast planet-enveloping tempests that scour the surface, are utterly powerless here. Their fury cannot penetrate these deep, secure chambers. The roar of the wind, the stinging grit of the sand, all become distant, unheard whispers, utterly cut off by the planet's solid embrace. Imagine yourself in such a place, deep within the planet, surrounded by the ancient, silent rock. The vastness above, the storms, the radiation tiny, all become distant thoughts, whispers that cannot penetrate this deep, secure stillness. It is a feeling of ultimate enclosure, of being held safe and sound within the very body of the planet. The darkness is absolute, a velvety blackness that invites the eyes to close, to surrender to the quiet. The constant temperature offers a gentle, unwavering comfort. The profound quiet allows your own breathing to become the only sound, a gentle rhythm that guides you deeper into relaxation. These are not just geological formations. They are nature's own perfect sanctuaries, waiting patiently for a future that might one day call them home. A private, silent world where the echoes of ancient fire have long faded, replaced by an almost perfect quiet. Here, in the dark, constant temperature, you are utterly safe. It is the ultimate bedroom, carved by the planet itself, offering a quiet, profound sense of peace and protection. The weight of the world, literally, is above you, a comforting blanket of rock, holding you secure, allowing your mind to drift, unburdened, into the deepest, most tranquil sleep. The outside world, with all its sounds and worries, is simply gone, replaced by the deep, resonant silence of the planet's heart. They stand as silent witnesses to our journey, scattered across the red expanse. Not monuments of stone, but of metal and wire, of purpose and curiosity. These are the resting places of our mechanical explorers, the pioneers who dared to touch this distant world. Imagine them, small and resolute, their solar panels once eagerly drinking the light, their wheels once tracing lines across the ancient dust. Now they are still, their circuits quieted, their cameras dim. Consider the Spirit rover, for instance. For years, it roamed a place called Jusiv Crater, a vast basin that might once have held a lake. Spirit was a tireless wanderer, a geologist on 6 wheels, sending back astonishing tales of its discoveries. It climbed hills, explored craters, and weathered dust storms that could have ended its mission countless times. But eventually, after more than 6 years of exploration, far beyond its expected lifespan, Spirit became stuck in soft Martian soil. Its wheels spun, but it could not move. And then, as the Martian winter deepened, the sun dipped lower in the sky, and its solar panels could no longer gather enough energy. The signals grew fainter, then ceased. It didn't crash or explode. It simply paused. It settled into the red earth, its scientific mission fulfilled, its long journey concluded, and there it remains, a quiet sentinel, slowly being embraced by the very landscape it explored. Dust, fine as powdered rust, whispers over its frame, coating its instruments, blurring its edges, slowly, patiently, making it one with Mars. And then there was Opportunity, Spirit as twin, a rover that defied all expectations, exploring for nearly 15 years, traveling an incredible 45 kilometers across the Martian surface. It was a marathon runner, a relentless seeker of water's ancient traces. Opportunity sent back panoramic views of stunning beauty, revealing a history of flowing rivers and ancient seas. But in 2018, a planet-encircling dust storm, one of the most intense ever recorded, blotted out the sun. The sky turned a murky, perpetual twilight. Opportunity, reliant on solar power, could not recharge. Its last message, a poignant whisper from across the void, translated roughly to, "My battery is low and it is getting dark." A final gentle confession of exhaustion. And then silence. Just like Spirit, it didn't fail dramatically. It simply grew tired, its energy expended, its journey complete. It is now a permanent fixture on the plains of Meridiani Planum, a tiny metallic island in a sea of red, resting beneath the cool, silent gaze of the Martian sky. Think of Sojourner, the very first rover to land on Mars in 1997. Small, no bigger than a microwave oven. It explored for just a few months, a brief but monumental visit. Its mission was a test, a first step, and it performed admirably. When its mission ended, it too fell silent, a tiny pioneering whisper in the vastness. Its metallic body, perhaps now deeply buried beneath layers of accumulated dust, is an artifact of humanity's first gentle touch upon this world. These quiet machines, these brave little wanderers, are not lost. They are simply at rest. They completed their tasks with unwavering dedication, sending back invaluable knowledge, expanding our understanding of a world so far away. Now, they sleep. Their metallic forms are slowly becoming part of the planet, weathering the gentle, abrasive touch of the Martian wind, gathering layers of fine red dust like a blanket. They are not forgotten, but rather, they have found their permanent home. They are the quiet guardians of the secrets they helped uncover, long sleeping ambassadors of Earth. Nestled into the rust-red soil, their silent presence a testament to human curiosity and the peaceful completion of a long, arduous journey. And as you imagine them slowly settling, slowly integrating, you too can feel the quiet satisfaction of a task completed, a journey ended in the deep, peaceful embrace of rest. Above this silent tableau, above the dust, covered plains where our mechanical friends sleep, two small, misshapen moons trace their ancient paths. They are Phobos and Deimos, the closest companions of Mars, named for the Greek personifications of fear and panic. But despite their names whispered from ancient myths, they are far from terrifying. In fact, they are tiny, irregular, and surprisingly gentle in their celestial dance. Phobos, the larger of the two, is a mere 22 kilometers across, a cosmic potato, pockmarked with craters. It orbits Mars incredibly close, skimming the planet's atmosphere at a distance of only 6,000 kilometers. This proximity means Phobos moves with astonishing speed across the Martian sky. From the surface of Mars, you would see Phobos rise in the west, traverse the sky in just a few hours, and set in the east, only to rise again a few hours later. It completes 2 full orbits in a single Martian day. Imagine watching it, a dark, lumpy silhouette against the starry canvas, sweeping across the horizon with a quiet urgency. As it passes, Phobos often casts its shadow upon the red plains below. These are not the grand, total eclipses we see from Earth. Because Phobos is so small and so close, its shadow is a fleeting partial veil. You might see a sudden dimming of the daylight, a brief, cool shade passing over the landscape, like a giant irregular eye blinking slowly in the sky. This shadow moves with incredible speed, a dark, indistinct blur rushing across the surface, a silent ripple across the vastness. It is a subtle, hypnotic event, a cosmic clock ticking quietly overhead, marking the passage of time with its ephemeral darkness. You could watch its shadow chase across the dusty plains, a soft, moving blanket of twilight, lulling you with its steady, predictable rhythm. Deimos, the smaller moon, is even more diminutive, only 12 kilometers across and orbits much farther out, about 20,000 kilometers from Mars. Because of its distance, Deimos appears as little more than a bright star in the Martian night sky, a distant, unwavering point of light. It takes about 30 hours to complete one orbit, moving much more slowly than Phobos. You might watch it drift, a tiny, patient beacon, slowly tracing its path among the other stars, a constant, comforting presence. These moons are not perfect spheres. They are captured asteroids, likely pulled in by Mars's gravity billions of years ago. They are rocky, airless, and silent. They reflect the sun's distant light with a gentle sheen, 2 small, quiet companions forever bound to their red parent world. Their movements are predictable, their presence a soft, rhythmic counterpoint to the stillness below. You can imagine their shadows, sometimes overlapping, sometimes distinct, painting fleeting patterns on the endless canvas of Mars. Watching their slow, quiet ballet above, their patient, unhurried journey through the void, can bring a deep sense of calm. The gentle, silent sweep of their passage, the soft, shifting patterns of light and shadow they create, can guide your thoughts into a quiet, rhythmic trance, a gentle counting of orbits, a peaceful surrender to the celestial dance. What lies ahead for this silent red world? What does the deep future hold for Mars, this planet of rust and quiet winds? For eons it has spun, a steadfast companion to our own blue marble, guarding its secrets beneath layers of dust and ice. Its stillness, its enduring patience, is a testament to the slow, relentless march of cosmic time. Perhaps one day humanity will return, not just with robotic explorers, but with human hands and minds. Perhaps we will embark on the grand, ambitious project of terraforming, of warming its atmosphere, releasing its hidden waters, and coaxing life to bloom on its barren surface. We might see vast domes sheltering nascent forests, or even, in the unimaginably distant future, a sky that is no longer red, but blue, with clouds that drift lazily over newly formed oceans. We might hear the rush of rivers, the whisper of leaves, the sound of rain on Martian soil. This vision, a world transformed, a new cradle for life, is a powerful dream, a testament to our enduring drive to create and to nurture. But if we do not intervene, if humanity leaves Mars to its own devices, its future will unfold with a different kind of majesty, a quiet, enduring silence. It will continue to drift through space, a lonely red beacon, for billions of years. The thin winds will continue to sculpt its dunes, the faint sunlight will continue to warm its surface, and the deep cold of night will continue to embrace it. Its ancient volcanoes will remain sleeping. Its vast canyons will stand as silent witnesses, and the faint traces of its watery past will remain etched into its landscape, undisturbed, unchanged by anything but the slow, patient hand of cosmic erosion. For eons, it will remain a world of red dust and silent vistas until the sun itself begins its final transformation. Billions of years from now, our sun will swell into a red giant, its outer layers expanding, engulfing Mercury and Venus, and perhaps even reaching Earth. Mars, though farther out, will not escape its fate. The increased radiation and heat from the dying sun will gradually strip away any remaining ice, boil away any trace of water, and leave its surface scorched and barren. It will be a final, fiery embrace before the sun collapses into a white dwarf, leaving behind a cold, dark cinder in its wake. But even then, in that unimaginably distant future, the essence of Mars, its quiet resilience, its long history, will have endured for countless ages. It will have stood as a steadfast symbol of time's vastness, a silent keeper of its own profound story. And in that enduring stillness, there is a profound sense of peace. You can let your mind drift with this thought. The vastness of time, the slow unfolding of cosmic destinies. Whether transformed by human hands or left to its own quiet evolution, Mars is a world of immense patience, a silent guardian of its own secrets. Its long watch continues, undisturbed, unwavering. And as you consider this enduring silence, this deep, resilient stillness, you can feel your own mind settle, your own thoughts grow calm. The wind has stopped. The red dust has settled. The stories of Mars, its ancient past, its present stillness, and its distant future now rest. Just as the robotic explorers have found their peace in the Martian soil, and the small moons trace their quiet paths across the sky, you too can now find your own deep rest. Let the vastness of this red world, its enduring silence, and its patient journey through time, cradle your own journey into sleep. Feel the quiet warmth of your own body, a small, vibrant presence in the deep, silent current of time. You are safe. You are at peace. The red world sleeps, and so can you. Let your breath deepen, your body grow heavy and still. Drift now into the soft, silent currents of your own dreams. Good night.